Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the evening news with me, Sumita Karir, on News Now. And let's head over to some of the stories that we're tracking this hour. Well, HDFC Bank has reported an inline set of numbers for the quarter gone by. Its net interest income has risen by 2.6% sequentially to reach 29,837 crores, while profit has fallen 2% in the same period. In fact, the private lender also saw some deterioration coming in asset quality, with gross NPAs at 1.33% versus 1.24% as compared to the previous quarter. And let's go across to my colleague Gaurav Javalkar, who has the fine print of the earnings of HDFC Bank. Gaurav, tell us the fine print and how does it really look like? A mixed set of numbers, perhaps?
HDFC Bank came up with their Q1 numbers, which were actually in line with what the street was expecting. Because when we look at the interest income, that increased almost by 2.2% on a sequential basis, while net interest income increased almost by 2.6%. PAT saw a decline of around 2% on a sequential basis, while PPOP was down almost by 18.4%. But all this was already penciled in by the analyst if we look at the pre-quarterly updates. When we talk about the overall asset quality, there we saw a little bit of deterioration. GNPA deteriorated almost by 9 basis points, while NNPAs increased almost by 6 basis points on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But let's not forget that in this quarter, Agribic was something where the concerns were building, and this was already penciled in by the street again. When we talk about the pre-quarterly updates, we have already seen a poor set of numbers from the bank because deposits reported a muted growth, while advances shown a degrowth of around 1% on a sequential basis. But all in all, when we talk about the Q1 numbers, there we saw some kind of inline set of numbers from the bank reporting for the quarter. Lastly, let's also not forget that net interest margins came at 3.47%, which shows an uptick of around 3 basis points on a sequential basis, which is again a positive thing for the bank because street was more or less penciling in a flattish net interest margins in this quarter. So definitely watching out on how it pans out for the investors, because on the numbers front we have seen inline set of numbers, while net interest margins have actually came up at a positive surprise for investors.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.